Yep, this is going to be my alternate universe, Connor and Caitlin. Yeah, so here I'm going to be making them, Connor and Caitlin, A2 Pacifics, specifically the
Peppercorn
ones. And, well, I know that seems like a stretch. And that's the first time on this channel or custom series that I've ever done a base swap of an engine in my universe. And I have a few more, but this is definitely a big one of the bunch for both of them. And now my reasoning for this is, I mean, if you've seen it, and if my plan goes right, though a week before this, there should be a little video that I wrote explaining it, you know, a little short. And, well, really, the way this started was I was talking with some friends, or a friend, you know who you are, and, you know, I was thinking, like, okay, here's the thing for my universe. I don't really want to have too many American engines on my island, or my island of Sodor, you know? Like, Hank would be there at one point in the lore, but that's, like, the big thing that happens, you know? Well, it's like, let's say, oh, it can handle it. That's how the rails are built, whatever. It's going to be American engines. There can be some exceptions, like, I'm thinking maybe Porter, but they tend to not end up over there, you know? And I'm quite a fan of Connor and Caitlin as characters, you know. I wouldn't say they're in my top 5, but I mean, maybe like top 10. Yeah. And, you know, it started with me just talking with a friend, right? And we were thinking, like, okay, well, what do I make? Because I was thinking maybe, like, BR standards at one point. But this, I feel, actually serves some purpose. You know, in King of the Railway, you got that little kind of rivalry with Connor, Caitlin, Spencer, Gordon. And this, I think, brings it to a whole new level. And I'm making them the same class, you know, the same type of A2. Maybe I'll give Caitlin different smoke deflectors, like, slightly, but, you know. I don't know if this is just me, but I think Connor and Caitlin were siblings when I first watched King of the Railway. And, you know, so that's my kind of justification for this. Why not? You know? And I know I don't know how to talk about this, because I've never done this before. But simply, yeah, I'm doing a basis swap here. And it might seem like a big one, but I think in terms of my lore I'm setting up, I think I like it. I like how it's set up. You know, it's going to be Gordon and Spencer. I need to update my Spencer model for the video, because, you know, I, of course, haven't even made the video yet. The customs aren't even done. I'm going to do some, like, set building for this while I'm working on these, but, you know. In the end, I'm planning on giving Gordon a 2D face, or my 2D face in my style. And, you know, I really don't know yet, because I haven't worked on this, but as of now, I have a good vision in my head of what I want that video to be. And I hope y'all enjoy it, whatever that video is. And if you haven't watched it, and this seems kind of cray-cray, I know how some people can be on basis swaps. Yeah, I'm talking about you. Just kidding, no one in particular. But no, that video would explain it. If people thinking like, oh, but yeah, All right, so now with that, I'm going to get into the customs. So for Connor and Caitlin here, I am repurposing 2 of my old models some of you may remember. My BR Scotsman, that free rolls really well, and my Tornado, which does not free roll really well, and really is showing its time, because this is not BR Blue, this is so bright, and it's just kind of falling apart. It doesn't roll well. Tender's off. Yeah, I'm pretty sure both of these are sun faded underneath, so that's going to be fun. Yeah, but my idea is, with my Tornado here, it actually had some pretty good bases in terms of, like, how I'd make this. So I'm thinking I'm going to tidy this up, kind of mix some styles, use better clay than this non-dry clay. I know I could rip this up if I wanted to right now. But, you know, like, use some techniques I did for Gordon, try some new stuff. I want to try and redo the tenders. You know, I want to make them look more like corridors. I've been using the same kind of style for a while, and I got some ideas. That's what I'm going to say. I can't say for sure, but I'm thinking make them look a bit more like a corridor tender. Because, let me grab it here. Let me grab my Spencer. Here's my current one. I plan on, like, ripping the valences off mainly, but overall I think it's going to be in a similar condition when I make the video. Maybe nameplate removed. But I'm not a big fan of when people just add the tender behind like a Gordon. I mean, you do you, but for me personally, I don't think I'm going to go about it that way. So I'm thinking just craft it up to look more like this, while still staying in that kind of trackmaster Gordon look. Yeah, but for the shallots, the groundwork's all here. I just need to tidy it up and refine it a bit, And this guy needs a redo. They both need redos. And now I am gonna probably remaster my Tornado one day. But that I can use a different Gordon. I'd probably make him alongside Scotsman. And heck, I need to remaster a few things on Gordon. He's overall good, but like I said, the tender, and I maybe want to change the smoke box and cab. Just a little upgrades, and I might do that alongside Scotsman and Tornado. Maybe. Well, we'll see how that goes. But just know, this guy will return one day in BR Green, probably. Yeah. So with that, I think that covers what I mainly wanted to go over in terms of my idea for now. So what I'm going to start with is just taking it all apart, maybe doing some cutting, getting all the paint off, and yeah, all that good stuff. So let's move on and see how this project goes. I'm pretty excited for it. Oh, voice crack. I'm pretty excited for it. There we go. And with that, the shaping is all done. And I'm happy with these guys. They're pretty much identical. So first, I'm going to go over the one that's designated as Connor here. And first, I want to say something. The big thing about the shape that I said I was going to do last scene, I ended up not doing it. So the slant in the boiler, right? I looked at photos of the Peppercorn A2s, yeah? And they don't have that. I mean, no, they don't have the A3 near the firebox going. They have the full-on slanted boiler, and I didn't want to really do that. I did that with my Henry, but for them, it's really, really subtle, so it's not that important. I just thought, why bother? And B, I really wanted to not do it if I didn't have to. So, yeah. Yeah, that's really it for that. I just ended up not doing it. But first, here, I'll do a little loop around. So, I was thinking where to start first. You're probably with the steam deflectors, actually. And here, I'm going to take this off the chassis. You saw it put together. No, yeah, the chassis. I'll start with the chassis, not the steam deflectors. So, an improvement, I can say, from the old Tornado one, which was falling apart, and it couldn't even sit on the chassis correctly. But no, for the frames here, I put it together as neatly as I could. Both of these are slightly different. Oh, the chassis screwed on here. Because, they were just cut differently, and I had to utilize them different ways. Like, for Connor here, I had to build an extension down here, because this part was cut too far in. But for Caitlin, the chassis here was far back enough to where I didn't have to build the extension. Oh, they're just pieced together kind of differently, but in terms of full-on shape, they're the same. The milliput here was used to, of course, extend it, bring it higher. I sanded that down. And I used a lot of hot glue for this, not hot glue, but super glue for this project. That helped out a lot. Because, I mean, if I take this off, it is pretty sturdy compared to before. And yeah. So you got the main shape. In the front here, you have it cubed off. And for that, I just, I had to file it down and fill this in with milliput to make it square here. And this whole panel is, let me take this off. It's milliput with cardboard on top. Pretty easy. Now for the steam deflectors, of course, I cut them to the correct shape. I glued them on, they're pretty fixed. Little supports, they bend it a little bit, but when I have the smoke box, it should push them. Like, I don't know, they should be aligned correctly when put on. I made sure to pay a lot of attention to that. For the steam deflectors, just, normal paper clips. They look pretty good. And more about the paper clip stuff. You got them here and here. This little thing here. I don't know what this is, but I think they all have this. The LNER A1s through 3s. But it's there. It's there. These are little bits. I don't know what they're called. I'll put an image of them. But they're little supports. Not supports, but the little knobs. I don't know what they're called. I put the things on the running board. And next, the boiler bands, right? So I added some. I was scared when I first started this because from what I saw, it was like, okay, they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 boiler bands, right? And I was like, okay, dang it, am I gonna have to file all of these down and reposition each one of them? But no, it worked out perfectly, because I just needed to add one in the middle of these two, and right here I just needed to add one right before the firebox, which I did extend with milliput. That's a good transition for this. Yeah, here, for my old Gordon, right, I just used paper and brought that over. With this, definitely a lot neater. It looks smaller, but it's gonna, give a much better effect. And for the cab, the old windows, like with Gordon here, and even for these, I have a slab of paper covering it, and it worked, but no, just filing down the milliput is definitely a lot smoother. And the elephant in the room here, I extended the cab on both of these, right? So if I bring my Gordon next to it, dang it, I can't position this. Here, just by a little bit, but if you can see, yeah, I extended it. And, that's just because in Tomy, they thinned out the cabs a lot for Gordon and Henry. And this definitely adds a fair bit. And you got the cab overhang, pretty subtle. Both of them have that. The banjo dome, that was fun, actually. I got the milliput, tried to line it up, and sanded it, filed it down. I don't know, see, milliput is actually really fun. It's just, I hate sanding it. Please, wear like a mask or something when you sand this stuff, please. It's like, yeah, I don't know, it's gross. But it's fun to work with when you're moving it around while it's still drying. Yeah. And now, for the running board, back to that, I filled this in with cardboard and hot glue, right? Moving back to my old methods a bit, these guys very well do have hot glue, but I'm trying to move away from that a bit more. But it's going to require some sanding to look good when I add the paint and primer and junk. But it's the best I could do, and it's flush, so should be pretty good once it's done. I'm a little scared, but it should be okay. Yeah, that's really it. I mean, final thing I could say about the frames is, for both of these, I had to round out the buffers a bit better, because old me did not pay attention to that when I was filing those down. They just sucked. But they definitely look a lot better now. A lot better. And yeah, that's really it. For this one, it's the same case. Nothing really different. Yeah. Though, I will talk about one difference for both of them. The smoke boxes, right? First of all, you see the fronts, they look like this because they were all torn up. This one just had a hole in the middle, and this one had a big chunk bitten out of it here. But, they're both extended, right? Just by, I think, 0.5 centimeter. And, it's cardboard on the inside and paper on the outside. I actually made it look better this time. I've done this in the past, and it's been a fair bit janky, but going back, I'm putting a lot more attention into this. And I made the steam pipes out of milliput and filed and sanded them down. Looks pretty good. But the difference, right, is the funnels. Dang it. Wait 1 second. I don't know where it went. There we go. Yeah, so as you see, they have a clear difference. This is Connor's. Connor has a single funnel with this thing. I think it's a water heater. I don't know. Someone correct me in the comments. But what's this thing? They have this thing here. I'll put a photo of it. Yeah. Connor has that thing. And Caitlin has a double funnel. I might go back and fix this a bit because it's a little janky. But, yeah, Caitlin has a double funnel. And this should be a water heater. I hope I have my locomotive terms correct. But yeah. And my reasoning for this is, well, okay, so here's the thing. I based these two off of actual A2s. This, Connor being Sun Chariot and Caitlin being Pearl Diver. It was a little bit of dialogue, I added that stuff in, a little attention to detail. But, looking at their real bases, Caitlin did have the double funnel in this mod, and Connor just had the stock standard. While in the terms of my AU, talking about this here, Connor would receive those modifications. I just want them to be different. I want them to look a little different. So I just opted out to keep Connor as the Sun Chariot's usual condition, as per withdrawn in real life. And as for another big difference, I want to say ignore that, because if you look at the steam deflectors here, Caitlin doesn't have them. Well, I made a nifty little system here. So as you see, there's a pin. And in the running board, there's holes. So I'm going to keep this milk box off to A, not really show it fully, and B, I just don't want to fit that on. But simply slide it in here. And slide another one in here. And ta-da! Caitlin, no, I'm just going to put it in. It doesn't matter that much. And Caitlin has steam deflectors. Now, my thought for this was, I really just wanted to mess with it. You know, have some variety. Connor's are fixed. I decided on that because this is... I might have to fix these in if I decide on it because they're a little wobbly. But it should be okay. We'll see. But the second... There is kind of a reason which contradicts that. I made an alternate version. And oh crap. Sorry, but... Okay, so I made these before I put these on, right? The steam pipes. And if you look, it kind of overlap. So I gotta cut a hole in here, but let's use our imaginations for a second, okay, everyone? So I'm gonna push these in here, right? And these are the LMS style ones I was talking about. Used to have some variety, and I should add some handrails to those. I didn't do that yet. Later. Okay, this doesn't fit in, but imagine this is in here, right? Yeah, that's the illusion. So these, I'm not 100% sure. I have to model them a bit still, but you'll see in the video. But Caitlin will most likely have these, if not as a variant. Yeah. And just kind of slapping this all together. That's it for the shells. And now for the tenders. So I had a bit of debate with these, yeah. I didn't want to waste Gordon tenders because I can use them for different projects. And I was thinking of scratch building. It was that, or I use a Spencer tender, which, you know, I said this earlier. I mean, if people do it, that's okay. But I'm just personally not a big fan of it. And with these, yeah, Spencer, I'm in the process of painting them up a bit. The thing is, with the extended cabs, I was kind of gaslighting myself into thinking it looked okay. I mean, it kind of does. But no, I wanted to stick with my full and traditional look. I didn't want to cheap out. So I fully decided, okay, use the Gordon tenders, because with my Gordon here has a corridor tender. This might change up. I'm going to be eventually redoing this model, so I gotta think things through. But this is my version of what's basically a corridor tender, and it sucks. But I'm pretty happy with these. You know, they're... sorry, these aren't... The bottoms aren't holding in. But slightly taller by a little bit. You know, it's curved in. Better to see at the back. It's got the curved shape. And I had to be a little janky because they were a bit broken. So I had some parts that are filled in. And I did handrails right here too. That's another thing. You got the top. And you got the water cap. And here's a neat little piece. You know, hot glue for the coal. It actually works. But if I can just get my fingernail in there, I hate doing this, but it's the best way to do it. This, for both of these, I'm not going to do it for both, but, okay, almost. I might develop a better system for this. Okay. Dang it. What the heck? What the heck? What the hoo-ha? Pardon the language. I know. Okay, we're going to do this one. This is embarrassing. No, okay, see? So this pops out. What's this? Okay, I don't know. But yeah, this pops out. It's just, you know, very similar system to my Gordon, actually. Like, see? But this is definitely neater, and it looks better. And one thing with this is, I'm not sure if I'm going to do this in this video, but if I wanted to, you get it. You get the gist. They could run if I wanted them to. They're pretty easy, and it just, I'm going to do this. I'm not going to open this back up, but it slides right back in. And it looks really good. I like it. Yeah. So now, in an effort to try and reduce the time of these videos a bit, that's the shaping really all done. And with that, I can get to the colors, which, if you've seen the video, I recommend you do. I want to be painting Connor in blue, my northwestern blue, and Caitlin in my northwestern red. Maybe with some modifications. I don't know yet, but, you know. Bye, Gordon. Alright, so with that, I'm just going to put a little primer on. I'll post a photo of that in between. And I'll get to... Oh, wait, shoot. No, it's not just the blue. I'm going to get to the blue, black, and running board red. I'm doing that now. I forgot to mention that. So I'm doing
I'm doing 3 sections at once. Final details and lining groups together comes later. So with that, here we go. So after that, here are all the base coats on. Now, as always, you know, I've been doing this, but I need to clean them up a little bit, you know, maybe put a few more colors into place, but they're good for the video. So with that, let's get into it. So first, I'll go with Caitlin. So here you got my NWR red. Let me grab Murdoch and Arthur, as I've always been doing. So here, if I can fit them on screen, here you got them, right? Same red. Red I've been using is the glorious Cardinal Red by Folk Art. I really like the color. I don't even know why I started using this actually, but I mean, I like it for my NWR red. And here's kind of moving these aside. I'll do a little loop around. And I gotta say, I'm gonna say, this part right here shares so much to heart with Arthur. If any of you watched the Ivet video, and paid attention, you know, if you actually watched the video, I'm joking. But no, if you know from the video, the tank, I raised it up, but it had a flaw. The cardboard I used had a big lip and made it annoying. How I fixed that for both of these, and that one in the back there, I globbed the paint on the line and kept sanding it, doing it, sanding it, until it worked. And it sounds really janky, but it works. So, yeah. And I gotta maybe sand down a few more parts. But, I mean, overall, it's looking good. Gotta say that. And roof, I'm gonna sand that still right here for both of them. But, no. I'll do that later. Yeah. And smoke box, nothing special. I painted the steam pipes. Oh, and I painted the smoke box itself. And for the tender, and I gotta say, here, I'm gonna bring both of them in here. I am liking them compared to how I did my old Gordon one. I'll use the blue example. Like, both of these are meant to be LNER corridor tenders, right? I think this is an improvement. I don't know if it was me, but I'm pretty sure. Yeah. But that definitely looks a lot better. I'm happy with that. And here, of course, not fully painted yet. I'm gonna do the red. I did say I would do all the red, but I'm holding off on the red here because I'm gonna need to do a lot of masking while I do the lining. I have to do it in a certain order. Yeah, this is looking good. I tried painting the inside a bit. I'll do a little more later. The running board, a bit of a nightmare because it did require a lot of sanding to get everything smooth. I still need to sand a little bit. You can kind of see some of the seam lines, but I mean, I'm liking it. It's really clean. Yeah, and I did file down the buffers a bit more. This one might need a little bit more work. I know Connor's are good, but I don't know. This might need a little bit more rounding off. But yeah. Let's see. That's really it for Caitlin. Yeah. So, and I have the paper towel right here, so I don't get any weird particles on them because they like to stick for some reason. I wiped off my table, but it's like when I was, you know, sanding a few stuff down and painting them, it like to mess things up, so I had them on that. Yeah. And for Connor, literally same exact thing. Oh, and yeah, I didn't paint them yet, but if I can look at them, you know, I'm pretty sure at this point in the video, I'm going to go with these steam deflectors for Caitlin, just the ones Connor has. I haven't painted them yet. I'll do that like right after this, but you know, slide in, and I'm proud of that. Yeah, so they both are probably going to look pretty similar. Only, like, I'm going to bring this up again, only difference being the different funnels in front. Yeah, and Caitlin can move back. Connor, literally, you know, where I'm getting with this, it's the exact same shape, apart from the smoke box and steam deflectors for now, but it has blue. And I gotta say, I've not used my Northwestern blue in a while. And man, count on how many times I've been saying Northwestern in this video. Yeah, but he's looking really good. Yeah, I did the exact same sanding torture with here. He might need a little bit more. I'm not sure. Overall, it's looking good, but it depends on if it's gonna bug me or not. That's what it's gonna boil down to. But yeah, he's looking pretty good. I gotta say, I honestly really thought adding boiler bands would, I don't know, bother me. Like, just having a bunch more than, what is it? Tomy Gordon's 1, 2, 3, I think 4, and a 5th one back here. It's like, I thought it would look weird. But no, I actually don't mind it. Now, maybe when I'm, not Gordon, Connor here, painting them all red, that might bug me, but I gotta do what I gotta do. Yeah, tender, exact same story. Did require a lot of sanding, because I had to fill in parts with cardboard, that chipped off, because this is horribly sun-faded. But he's looking good, I gotta say. And let's see. Oh, actually, funny coincidence. But a few days, like maybe, I think 2 days before I finished working on these, it got announced that Blue Peter's back in service. Painted blue. Not that blue, but, And I mean, come on. There's no such thing as a coincidence. But no, that's actually pretty cool. Gotta say, this might, like I said, nothing was intentional here, but, cool. Yeah. And, I mean, what, that's really, and I gotta say, it's bugging me how there's just the parts sticking out, the screw holes that broke off. I gotta figure that out, because I don't know if it's gonna mount completely right when the customs are done. That's for later me. But yeah, with that, the base coats are pretty much done. And now it's gonna be for, well, both, since I'm grouping them together now, the lining and the details. Final details, but same thing. As for what I'm gonna do, as for the basics, paint the handrail silver. That's gonna be pretty easy. It's gonna be like, okay. Oh, I thought that was about to. Okay, I was grabbing Gordon off the shelf, right? And I thought something was about to fall. Yeah. Imagine it's gonna be something very similar to this. I'm thinking maybe gold windows this time. Making them more of a stock standard. Red on the inside of the thingamabobs, the side rods, silver buffers. And, I mean, okay, the really only thing the thing I'm kind of debating right now, for the people who've seen the video, you'll know what I'm going to be going with then, but as for the numbering and the lettering, right? So these guys in lore are privately owned by the privately owned, dual owned with the Sir Topham Hatt. They're Northwestern engines, but they're owned by Sir Robert, right? So my thought was, I give them their BR numbers, or BR, I think BR numbers. I don't remember them exactly, but I'll know what they are when I'm printing them out. But I'm thinking, giving them number plates of their BR numbers on the cab, and on the tender, I think I might still go with NWR, because they're technically, under the Northwestern Railway. That, or I might, that Ulfsted Castle logo? Like, the one at the end of King of the Railway? I'll put an image of that up. Honestly, part of me was thinking, put that on the tender, but seeing these models painted, I don't think that's going to work. So for now, I'm considering, my main idea is the Northwestern Railway, or I say that a lot in this video, the NWR on the tender. But I'll figure that out. That's going to be, the last thing I do before I, do the weathering clip and junk. But yeah, as for the details, it's pretty stock standard. So with that, I'm just gonna hop into it. So here we go. And we're back. And I can say these look good. I'm actually really happy with them. This is definitely a big jump in terms of doing something different for what I've been building in my AU so far. But you know what? I don't care. This is fun. I like this. Connor and Caitlin as A2s. Let's do it. Yeah! Alright, I'm gonna get to the video. So, first, I'm gonna go over the small stuff and work to the big stuff. Quick thing. I painted Connor's wheels, right? Standard blue I've been doing with the black on the outside. And for Caitlin, I've kind of cheaped out a little bit. So, no time soon, but I might be using James for another project. And I thought, okay, I'm gonna take off his stock wheels and just slap them on, Caitlin. Because, you notice, I don't see why I'd have to paint them. Because the thing with Connor's, they look okay, but they're, this one's not a good example, but they're kind of crusty underneath because I couldn't remove the paint 100%. Don't love it, but I did the best I could. So why have to paint wheels black again if I could just use normal ones? I don't like it when wheels aren't paint matched. Yeah. But I mean, I think black's fine because, it's different colored wheels, that kind of thing. It can work. Yeah. And actually, one thing is, you may know, of course, what the front wheels are of James. They're meant for the side rods to go into it. But I can't find them. I don't think it's in there. But I just used the diesels because wink, wink, nudge, nudge. I have a diesel that I want to mod a bit, and just the front was pressed and I could fit the Gordon side rods on the side. So yeah, okay, those are good. I'm spending too much time talking about these dang wheels. Yeah, here I'll show one of these, but the tender chassis, I lined it out a little bit. It's subtle, but I like it. Yeah, it's the same for both of them, nothing too fancy. And for the Colt, it's my classic hot glue and cardboard. This will just slide in here. And smoke boxes, right? Both, well, Connor, blue, Caitlin red. Connor has a single funnel, and whatever this thing is, and Caitlin has the double, which, I said this before, but the real life counterparts I based them off of, that's what it would technically be. And, yeah, here, let's show the chassis work. Right, so here's one thing I want to say off the bat. Caitlin's, right? It had the pin system where underneath it would slide in and I could replace them, right? I retconned that, mainly for the reason of it just did not work well. Like, they constantly sat wonky, and this one broke off like multiple times. So I just thought, glue them on. I don't think I want to be changing them out, so it's fine. But yeah, they look the same, and I think they look really good. Like my old Tornado chassis, that thing, I did not like that. It didn't sit well, and this was like way too far up. It just looked ugly. But this, actually, it sits comfortably, and I think it looks good. I'm happy with the shaping on this, and the painting definitely helps it pop. Yeah, the recoil classic around the side. I had something different. I did a little white around, because fancy. Silver buffers. The handrails on the steam deflectors. I like the steam deflectors. Always look good on an engine. And here I'll bring Connor's, because it's the exact same thing apart from the nameplates. So for that, of course, I referenced the Tornadoes, right? Because just the same steam deflectors. Was it necessary? I don't know. I just thought it would look nice, Yeah, I like it. The thing is, kind of swapped it around. You can kind of see in Caitlin's, I gave her a deep blue for the background, and for Connor's a dark red. Kind of switching the colors around, thought it would be kind of cool. And one thing you may notice is Minnie's wheels, right? And if I slip the chassis on, ta-da, these things are going to have accurate wheel configurations. Now, the thing is with Thomas brands, you can't always get that right, but I found with these, it looks pretty good if you slip them, because I extended the cab, right? That's one thing I did. And with only the 6 middle wheels in, it looked so, like, short. Like, there's such a big overhang in the back, and that just made the front look larger. So giving it the Minis wheels actually helped a lot. Yeah, like, I don't do that a ton, but in this case, it really helped. And that's really it for that. Just, I think everything I've done explains itself. The classic things you painted. Oh, yeah, I tried to paint the entire bottom. I usually don't do that, but I want to just commit. I don't want to leave this unpainted now. But yeah, I like them. And yeah, I painted the cylinders. Not necessary, but thought it would be fun. Oh, one thing. So these are both sun faded, right? And I can't screw the backs down. I only can, like, connect the shells in the front. I don't love it, but they are broken off at the same part. See, one here, one here. Yeah, I'm not going to wait on that, because I know these videos are getting long, but I like it. Now, yeah, I'm going to do the tenders. That makes sense. Now, here's the thing. I decided on decals. Yeah. Now, I'm actually, I like these a lot. Now, one thing that kind of bugs me is, how it's paper and you can see the lip. I tried to fix it, but I did the best I could. I don't love it, but it's okay. The camera makes it look a little better, but I don't know. It did, yeah. But the decals, I'll start talking about that. I kind of made these. This is like a little headcanon, sort of, kind of, right? So okay, I'm just going to get to it. So my main thought when designing these was, at the end of the King of the Railway, they have like that plaque on the side. I think Stephen had one with the 2 lions. And I wanted to base it off of that, but not give the castle, because, with my thing, the estate's going to be a little bit more than that. So I didn't want it to be exclusive to that. So then I thought, okay, I'm going to work with it, right? So for that, I did the 2 lines on the side, that was like kind of stay. but the main thing was the one in the middle. I took some reference from this from, I believe, what is official? Yeah, official Sudrian banners and junk. And I kind of made a hybrid design. Like I have the flag going down the middle. I hope it's not overkill. I can't really explain it. This was just me sitting down thinking, okay, this looks good. This looks good. But yeah, I like it. Simple as that. And there's a little writing on the bottom, which doesn't translate well. And I won't explain it if people can see it. Guess. I'm going to say that. Guess. This is one thing that I'll leave to figure out if one wishes to, which it's not that hard. Hardest part would be understanding it because it is pixely. I'm telling you, the old family printer wants to die. Yeah. But no, the tenders look good. It's the classic lining with black on the outside. And here's the thing. I had another Jinty incident, right? So from my second to last video, my problem was, now that I'm not using paint pens for lining anymore, I couldn't use my old red. And the red I tried, it's not that visible. I used the same red again. It's worse on camera, but I think it'll be fine. Once everything's put together, it definitely pops more. But I definitely gotta switch the red I'm using for lining. It's too dark. I might just do this one, but I feel like that would pop too much. And it takes so many coats. I don't know, it's, I just gotta think about it. Yeah. And the corridor. Now, A2s didn't have this, but I can elaborate a little bit later. Hey, it's me, Goku! And guys, Daniel doesn't do that. He just kind of forgets. So I'm gonna explain it to you. Hey Goku, do you know the Wi-Fi pass? Die! If I haven't already, I don't remember. But yeah, that's the tenders. And with that, it just leaves the shells, which I just finished painting, so I gotta be careful because I don't know if they're 100% dry. Yeah, but I think they look good. They're very detailed. Very detailed. More than usual that I've been doing lately. It's a lot more to cover. Yeah. So firstly, windows, right? I'm doing my classic new, cutting them out into pieces, painting them, then gluing them on. Did it for both, and I think it looks really good. Yeah. And it's classic, or for Connor, it's just a bunch of boiler bands. Yeah, the camera makes it look really dark. It's weird. Like, it is red. It pops. The camera makes it look worse. What the heck? All right, imagine the red's slightly more vibrant. Let's say that. Each boiler band got it. And on the cab, it's black, and a little bit of red on the inside. And on the front, the entire thing's actually lined out in red on the outside. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm just realizing the camera makes this look really bad. Does it help if I change the lighting? No. Okay, I can't really help with that. Hopefully, when they're put together, everything will kind of show up better. Yeah. Oh, that's weird. I didn't think about that. All right, you can see the outline on Caitlin more, right? The sides and the bottom, and on the front. Yeah, that shows a lot better. I should use this for reference. But yeah, Caitlin. Excuse me. On Caitlin, it's just a front boiler band. You know, like a Murdoch for reference. I think that looks good. Painted the whistle. And the numbers are on. Yet again, I don't love painting number plates on, but I don't know. And, you know, you got the official numbers. Connor is 60527. Caitlin is 60529. And, again, that is their BR numbers. So, 10-minute mark, cool. With that, I can get to weathering, and my thought is I'm not going to go too heavy, because, you know, they're in, like, pristine condition, you know, just out of the works. So, it'll be a tiny bit, and I'll put the clear coat on, then I'll get back. Yeah, these are looking pretty good. All right, let's go. With that, everything is 100% complete. Now, this is the quick part. I'm going to skim over it. I've done the clear coat and weathering, and it's really pulled everything together. So, I mean, chassis, not much to say. I did the wheels, and I'm going to say this. I made a little mistake. So, usually, when I'm painting engines, right, I paint the tips of the wheels, right? Blends in better, that kind of stuff. But when I put the side rods on, it can chip the paint sometimes because it's on bare metal. I thought this time, okay, you know what? I'm gonna wait and paint the tips after. Cause, when I slip the side rods over, the side rods that don't even go over the wheel, I just poke through the piston. Yeah, I didn't need to do that for this. It would help with future projects, but this one, it was kind of pointless. Oh well though. I clear-coated the wheels. I even clear-coated the, it's not really noticeable, but I even clear-coated the unpainted ones just so it would help blend in a bit more. The chassis. Other chassis look pretty good. All right, I like a matte clear coat. It just really pulls everything together. The shells, I'm happy with these. Oh yeah, and see, this is the weathering. I barely did anything. That's it for the shells and the tenders. See, I did like very minimal weathering. You can hardly notice it. Because, yeah, in the context that they're just built or rebuilt, haven't been working too hard, so they wouldn't have much dirt on them. But at the same time, they are the Earl's engines, and I feel like the Earl would pay more attention to, washing them every night, that kind of thing. He's got the money for the people to do it, So yeah, they're clean engines, less weathering than I normally do, and I think it looks good. Yeah. So, as I've been saying, an effort to really experiment with keeping it at a good runtime here, I'm going to get straight to assembling. That's really everything. It's just, man, I think these are going to look good. So, I'll get back to you all when I do that. And with that, Connor and Caitlin are 100% done. Yeah. It's weird. I feel like this has been a super long time, right? But actually, for what I've done recently, I finished these in a decent amount of time, yeah. Because I've been doing stuff on the side, like for the video, I'm kind of starting editing now, but I've been doing set building alongside. So I think for everything I'm doing, I'm making good time with these. I've made good time with these, and I am happy with how they look. Like, I'm thinking, I'll start going over them. I'll start start with Connor. What do I pick first? How about the new thing, the face, right? I'll do this for both of them. So, of course, this is my usual face style I've been doing. I am now full swing into using my new method with how I kind of do if I can get Jinty here. Okay, don't rip off. Do a slab of cardboard behind and wrap the face around. I don't want to rip their face off because that sounds violent. I don't want to do that because I don't want to damage the face right now, but it just looks really good. Like I did the kind of ring around, the RWS style thing for both of them. Connor's is a bit rough because I rushed it, but in the video, I'm going to make the faces a bit neater. These are just kind of test prints. But yeah, I styled them off of the usual faces from CGI. Connor's nose, I feel like it bugs me a bit, but Oh, well, I know I'm happy with them. I'm not going to complain. I'm happy with how they look. Yeah, they really complete the models. Like, I don't lie, making them A2s, that's a big step from being two big streamlined American engines. But I think it's justified, honestly. Like, I'm gonna get into that later. I'll talk about why I think it's justified, but for now, I'm gonna review the models. I'll give my explanations later. Yeah, so Connor, it's just a Gordon, but he is a bit longer. Not like if I bring him, let's see, Henry, that really needs an update, right? Technically they're the same length, but I extended the cab back, so he looks longer, and I like that a lot. I think that was a good addition. And when I remaster Henry and my Gordon, I am definitely going to give them that same modification, because, man, it improves the look a ton. Actually, now that I have my Gordon side by side, here's like a, difference of a few years in modeling, and I gotta say, I've improved, and he's covered in dust. But yeah, like, I'm gonna try, dusting off Gordon, but I don't plan on updating him too much for the video. Like, the one that just released a week ago, I haven't even started filming it yet, so I don't know how it's gonna turn out. But yeah, I'm going to leave Gordon as is. So I'd say take my older models with a grain of salt in that. I want to update them. It's just, this is meant to be like a dialogue story. I'm not spending all that time updating the models that I don't need to just yet. But yeah, they're all going to get some updates, I can say. So, first you got the running board to compare, and his is really shallow. That does not look good. I need to change that. But you got the classic A2 little step up. I think I'd like that a lot. Because, yeah, one thing is, these were my old, you know, at the start of the video, this was my old Tornado and BR Flying Scotsman. And I mean, they look a lot better. But, where was I getting with this? Oh, yeah, a problem with Tornado specifically is, I did this before, but it did not sit right at all. It looked ugly. And with this one, I was honestly kind of expecting there to be a bit of a weird, like, alignment, but when I screwed them down, they fit perfectly fine. Like, I was worried that this was going to sag a bit or something, but no, it looks really good. Yeah, like, I mean, that was just me rushing it back then and not being clean, but I was kind of worried going into this that nothing would line up. But it did. Yeah. I gotta say, it's just a nice model there. And I think I've outdone myself. But yeah, like, you got the nameplates. I already talked about those. I mean, I've already talked about everything, so I'm just gonna do a little spin around. Yeah. Look here. Yeah, that's a little bit. And that's Connor. And I'm gonna do one for Caitlin real quick. Normal. Little side. Back right. Back left. And if you want to get a good look, just pause the video. But yeah, I can say, like, this was definitely updating some of my old tricks. And man, I think it worked out well. Like the tenders, you got the corridor. And I mean, I think it's okay. I mean, they're definitely not better than this. I mean, I'm retconning this, but Gordon right now has a corridor tender. I'm not going to have him out that anymore, but this is my take on that. But this one, I think it's a lot better. Like, you actually got the curve. It feels like it's supposed to be that, though it's a little small. But no, it's fine. I don't mind it. It doesn't, like, from an angle, it looks perfectly fine to me. Just when I look at it from the side on. I don't know, but it's good, though. It's definitely an improvement. Oh, yeah, and one thing. If you look inside, this is how the coal works. It's hard to remove, but it's just a slot that I can pull in and out if I want to do a battery. Like, neither one of them are motorized, but if I wanted, I could solder some wires in, that kind of thing, and it would look good. Yeah. So, I don't know, there's not too much to say since I've already covered all the details, but I think I'll just talk about the lore, I guess. So yeah, these are, well, Connor and Caitlin as A2s. Connor used to be Sun Chariot, numbered 60527, and Caitlin used to be Pearl Diver, numbered 60529. So technically, oh, they're real, whoa! But yeah, I don't know, I had a lot of fun with these. Like, so here's the thing. This is definitely going into my universe a bit more. Like, this is a jump. I mean, you could say Jinty was, but that was just kind of, you know, having some fun. But these are, like, my first basis swap, and I'm going to be doing some of those in the future. And Connor and Caitlin, because my thing is, I don't really want to do big American engines. Like, Hank, he's going to be kind of the magnum opus, dare I say. Like, I have a little story idea, let's say, for him eventually. But I don't want there to be, like, locals running around, that kind of thing. And it was a lot of thinking. Like, oh, I had some candidates. Like, the Battle of Britain, Class from the Southern. What is it? What's the other one? BR Standards. I seen some people doing those, and I liked it. And I wanted to maybe follow suit, but I believe I was talking with a friend, and we ended up thinking of A2s. And my justification for that is, you know, it's not like an A1, A3, where, okay, I'm bringing it back from the dead. I'm making another one, you know, alive. Because, yeah, it's a big thing in railfanning that Scotsman's the only A1, A3 around in real life. And, you know, these are the same class as Blue Peter, who actually recently got restored, which was pretty cool, or rebuilt, overhauled, which was pretty cool. And I feel like Blue Peter is a little slept on. I don't see people talking about him as much. So I'm like, is it really going to be that significant if I bring back two more? That was my thought behind it. So rather than being like specifically, rather than being a grizzly, they're a peppercorn, which I think I like it. I like it honestly. And another thing, for Connor, this is one thing. Hudson, a New York Central Hudson, those things iconic. They were all scrapped, and that was a major thing. And you're telling me that one is still alive on Sodor? That's my thought behind it. I mean, not trashing on the CGI series or anything. It's a show, but I'm saying for my own universe, I don't see the point all that much. And another thing, I decided to make them both A2s rather than different classes because I don't know if this was just me, but I always thought they were siblings as a kid. I don't know why. I don't know why I didn't know. Oh, they're different trains. I don't know why I didn't point that out to myself, but they always took me as siblings, right? And so this is kind of my way of doing it, and I'm happy with it. Yeah. And now, that's kind of just my explanation. And now it's time for the shameless plug. So, Destriers, right? That should have premiered a week ago from today. Like I said, I haven't even started recording for it yet. I'm doing a little bit of audio editing, but none of that just yet. But I know it's happening. And this is the plug. So, down in the description, or just go to my channel, it is up. Alright? It's just a little story, kind of dialogue based, but it has some stuff going on. And I'm hoping I'll be happy with it. I'm sure I'm putting a lot of work into it with set building and stuff. So, set building is not my strongest suit, but I've been putting a lot of work into it so far. So I ask that you guys would be so kind as to go and watch that. It maybe explains a little bit. It was just fun. It was just a little fun idea I have. And if you do like it, I'm planning on maybe writing some stuff in the future. Some short, some long. And I would like to make a series one day. But this is kind of, like, I want to make more of these, but these are kind of just little summaries of my little universe. Little snippets. I don't plan on making, like, a full Sodor series. I don't see the point in that. But, I think, well, not in a particular order. I'd like to maybe, do little rewrites or originals. I just want to have fun with it. This was a little bit of experimenting. But yeah, I'm happy. I hope the video's going to be good. I'm sure happy with these guys. And I'm right on the end of set building. So after that, I'm going to get right to recording. And with that, all the props will be ready. And yeah. I don't know, that's really all that I have to say. I gave my little explanation, and a little plug. So, and, yeah, I'll move them a bit closer. Yeah, these are definitely some of my most obscure models I've made as of late. But oh, trust me, I'm gonna make some more. Yeah. So, you know what? I think this would be a good one. Well, Gordon doesn't have a face. I didn't think about that. But here you have them all. And, oh yeah, Spencer has a test face on right now. I'm gonna lengthen it out for the video. But, yeah, this is how they're looking so far. And I gotta say, I am super happy with these two. Now, to avoid rambling, I'm just gonna, close this down. But, yeah. So, I ask of you, if you'd like, it would be pretty cool, you guys, if you haven't, to go watch Destriers. I'll put a link in the description. And I hope y'all like this custom video. Thank you all for watching, and goodbye.
Hey guys, Piccolo here. If you were watching earlier, and I don't doubt you if you weren't, Goku was trying to tell you that Daniel forgot some information, specifically about the tenders being corridor, when the A2s weren't originally. Yeah, Piccolo, by the way. And, see, I'm here to elaborate on that, since Goku isn't here, he's fighting Cell or something. Simply put, it's nothing special. It's just, Sodor usually takes an hour to get through. You don't need a long-distance tender for that. Wouldn't normally need a corridor. But Connor and Caitlin, on the other hand, they tend to maybe travel a bit of a longer distance past Vickerstown. The systems, the services, they kind of alternate between them, something like that. And when they were getting rebuilt, the Earl was like, yeah, I'm gonna do that. That seems like it would be useful. So they have corridor tenders. Not a massive detail, but I think that we want to elaborate on that rather than just leaving you all in the dark. So with that, that's really it. I'm Piccolo. My voice is cracking a bit, but I'm Piccolo. I hope this helped you out. Hey, Piccolo. Yeah? Wait, what are you doing? I'm doing the thing. Piccolo, this is my thing. Well, you weren't here. You had to go fight. So yeah. Goku, I was trying to help him. You could have just waited, man. Oh, Goku, you left mid take. So I had to fight Frieza. You were fighting Cell. Oh. Okay. Yeah. So, any good Dragon Balls lately? No. Okay.